All right, it's a beautiful spring day in the western Colorado mountain area, and I'll show you a little unique piece of property here. We've got 9 acres, big shop, close to 5,000 square feet. And so we'll take a walk around this place and take a look, and we'll see what we can see. So I'm at the southwest property corner right there, and you can see out into here we have some native vegetation, sagebrush, whatnot. Right now there's about 5 horses boarded on this place. You can see on the south side of the property here, we got a fair amount of wetlands, which is not typically the federally protected wetlands, but these is all irrigation water runoff wetlands. Over there by those willows and those 2 cottonwood trees, there's a pond over there that collects the surface water runoff from upstream. There's a small shed there used to store hay or whatever. A little bit in rough shape, but you know, typical horse shed. Got a high spot here where the horses are grazing. We got some more irrigation water runoff wetlands, and then we come into view of the big shop. Right now that's rented out to a guy that's running an auto body shop in there. So his paint booth is on the southeast end there, where the overhead door and the 2 big vents are. And you know, like any auto body place, they got several vehicles waiting for repair. This little portion up here, it has been overgrazed by them horses. They tend to pen them up in here, and so vegetation's pretty sparse, but it's a nice little lot. Could be a building site. It's actually on this paved road frontage. You can see the power lines there. That's 3-phase up above and a single phase branching off. So there's 3-phase power at the corner. There's single phase power currently installed to the property. At the front end of the shop here on the northwest side, left side, there's a little office there. We'll swing back around here so we can see the mountains. Well, that's what they call Land's End on the right, Mount Lambert in the middle, and Mount Gunnison off there to the east. Still snow covered, but that's good because that's where the irrigation water comes from. You can see here we got natural gas pipeline coming to the property. Looking back to the south where them horses are grazing. Kind of into the sun. I'm hoping this turns out. Now this property on this dead end road here has 2 Delta County addresses. So there's one that's associated with the shop, office, warehouse, whatever you want. Now this building is heated with that outside boiler, and that's a dual fuel boiler. It can either run on wood or natural gas. He currently runs it on wood. He's got a propane tank set up for his paint booth, so he makes sure it's good and warm and dry in there. That little shed building on the side there, that's where his compressor house is, and the utility entrance. So there's single phase power coming right there to that point in the building. I'm not going to take you inside the building because I don't want to put all what he's got in there on the video. But if you give us a call, we can arrange a showing of the inside of the building. Here's the end of the natural gas pipeline, and there's the heater over there, boiler, outside boiler, and this is the second address entrance here. And this is associated with that little shed in the east half of the property. Now this property has some water rights, and there's a long story to that. I'll leave that for another video, but There's one pond there. It's still filling up from the drain down over the winter. Pan around here and I'll show you another pond. Okay, so that's a pond there. That takes spring water and some surface runoff, diverts it into this first pond here, which settles out all the particles and whatnot, so it's a primary settling pond. And this little one over here will be a secondary settling pond to supply water to the building. And of course, a certain amount of parts and whatnot laying around. Need to get this cleaned up one of these days. So, over a few years, I excavated out this primary settling pond and built the fill up there, leveled off a great big building site. We'll go up there and take a look. Over by that tree there is where an electric utility service comes in. It's been a long time since it was used there. I imagine there used to be a house here at one point. So we'll go up the ramp here and we'll take a look at the big building site we got all built up. Now I have to apologize. Right now it's been growing a really good crop of tumbleweeds. But even though it's been lacking water for a while, it has a certain amount of growth potential in it for sure. We'll walk over here. Look over the edge to the south. We'll take a look at the other pond. Maybe we'll see some geese or ducks. No, not today. So, that's a pretty good sized pond. It's been there a long time. It was built approximately 1976. So, but it collects all the surface runoff from upstream. And of course, we got water rights for that. In addition to the spring water, the surface runoff water, we also have a couple of shares of irrigation ditch water. Now this property to the east of here, we've been battling with that person that owns that for about 4 years or so, maybe 5. And that's a whole nother story. Battling with them over the irrigation water, who had rights to it. But we finally got that resolved. So this spring, we've undergone a major project to bring that irrigation ditch water to the property. There's a couple acres up here on top of this. And once we get it watered, I'm pretty sure we'll grow a pretty good crop of something up here. Chances are the best thing to grow up here would be oats and corn, maybe some rice in the low spot as wildlife habitat. food supply, whatever. We'll walk over here to where the irrigation water comes in. Of course, it hasn't started this year yet for this property, but it will next week. So right now I've got a few pieces of gated pipe strung out here, but nothing special. That's about a 4-foot high berm, 3 to 4 feet high berm. Around the west and north and east side of this upper deck here. That range of hills over there is what's known as Grand Mesa. And you can see this is right at the borderline between the upper high country, aspen and pine, spruce, all that. And then off to the west, you got your drier western slope. Way off in the distance is the Uncompahgre Mesa. Over there is Fruitland Mesa. Pretty rural countryside, but pretty nice. All right, let's go over here to this corner. That's about all the more energy I got for showing. I'm expecting by next week we'll have water running out of here, so flood irrigate this whole upper deck. This is the northeast corner of the 9 acres. What we got here is the concrete riser for the irrigation ditch water. And below that, at the bottom, there's a drain. And this standpipe is so you can access the drain valve. We're not quite done filling in this corner yet because we had this major project. But so the drain valve goes to a drain pipe down the edge of the property, hooks in with that surface water runoff and spring water, and carries it down to that pond. We'll walk back out onto this gravel road in here if I don't trip over these forks. And we'll get back out on the road and we'll show you this view here. that's about the end of the tour. So if you'd be interested in this place, give me a call, 970-986-1020. Thanks for watching. I'm going to post a video later on the water war, and I'll call it something like the Saga of the Stolen Water. Anyhow, stay tuned. Thanks.